Well said, Seal. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Thank you all for coming today. This is a small but an important protest. I want to show you this photo. This is a picture of Tony Burke offering 5 Iranian women footballers protection visas. He couldn't get in front of the cameras fast enough. Now, I don't begrudge those Iranian women from getting protection visas, but did you know that the very next day in the Parliament, Tony Burke introduced a bill that gave him the power to take away visas from 7,200 Iranians planning to come to Australia. Now, the reason why they took away those visas from the Iranians was they were frightened they would overstay their welcome and maybe claim asylum here in Australia. Now, evil, that's exactly right. And Angus Taylor, the leader of the opposition, is just as hypocritical. He said on the 10th of March about the Iranian footballers that every reasonable Australian would want to see a good outcome for their safety and their future. Now, 2 weeks later, he and One Nation voted for Burke's visa ban legislation. And then 6 weeks after that, later, he's in the media just this weekend talking about bad countries, that Iran is a bad country and that bad people come from bad countries and that the Iranians and others should be denied entry.
Shame! Evil!
Today, this law is being used against Iranians. Tomorrow, it could be used against Palestinians and Lebanese. There is already evidence that informally, Lebanese people are being denied visitor visas. Now, this bill is wrong for a whole number of reasons. Firstly, it is racist. Just think about what happened to the Ukrainians when they were fleeing after Russia's invasion in 2022. They didn't have a visa ban put on them. And I would expect that this bill will never be used against people with a similar complexion. It will be used against Afghans, it will be used against people from the Middle East, it will be used against people from Africa, etc. Secondly, it is very similar to what Donald Trump did when he suspended visa processing for 75 countries because he didn't want foreign nationals taking welfare and other public benefits from the US. Now, Trump's ban predominantly targets people from the global south, from Africa, from the Middle East, Latin America, etc. And finally, the bill seriously undermines Australia's commitment to the 1951 Refugee Convention. In 1938, when tens of thousands of Jewish people were fleeing persecution from Nazi-run Germany, the world closed their doors to them. The Australian Trade Minister at the time, Thomas White, said that they did not want to import a racial problem into the country. Isn't this very similar to what's being done to the Iranians today? The 1951 Refugee Convention was meant to prevent this shameful treatment of refugees from ever happening again by giving people the right to seek asylum and the right not to be turned back. This bill and many other actions taken by governments over recent years is crashing those conventions. Just think of what the outcome would have been in the 1930s if you applied Angus Taylor's logic that bad people come from bad countries. Then once again you would have shut the door to the Jewish refugees fleeing Nazi persecution because Germany in the 1930s was not a liberal democracy. Now let's just face facts. This is just pure racism. The government and the opposition are smearing whole groups of people based purely on where they come from. And we all know there is a very coded message behind this about Muslims, about people from the Middle East, that they're not good citizens, that they don't have Australian values, that they dared protest about Palestine and other things. Cancelling the visas of Iranians coming to Australia isn't the only shameful mistreatment of Iranian asylum seekers by the Labor government. There are still 82 Iranians in detention in Australia, many of them earmarked for deportation to Nauru. Hundreds are living in limbo in Indonesia, trapped there by Australia, who in 2014 introduced a ban on taking refugees from Indonesia. Hundreds brought to Australia after being detained on Manus and Nauru in 2013 are still denied permanent visas. They're still living in our community but denied permanent visas. And there are still some Iranians stuck in PNG, abandoned by the Australian government after they'd been sent there in 2013. Meanwhile, Labor is continuing to deport asylum seekers to Nauru. Another Afghan asylum seeker was sent to Nauru at the end of March, joining 6 others already deported there. And there are 26 people in detention liable to be sent, and there's another 27 in the community eligible to be sent. The refugee rights movement and the anti-war movement must demand Labor open the borders and provide protection for the Iranians, for the Palestinians, and all people seeking asylum. And this discrimination based on what country you come from has to stop. Thank you for coming here today. This is only a small protest, but we will certainly try to amplify it on social media, etc. And as they say, from small things, big things grow. Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Okay, how about we all get everybody down this part here and we'll get a quick photo together for social media.